We're strapping ourselves in.
Yeah, well, I'll
Tell us about the ways
two.
you've been punishing yourself.
Yeah, I'll get through the first two. I started off a couple weeks ago starting with Risk of Rain 2. I just finished... No, I didn't even finish one run, I don't think. I think I died because I couldn't figure out how to kill the final boss. Yeah. But it's a very cool game. It's just a roguelike third-person shooter. Yeah, it feels real good. It's kind of got a pickup system. It's like cards, I guess, you get from... Not really cards. Pickups, and you can have like a million pickups, and they all stack. So you're just trying to like get more and more and just get combos between different abilities.
That's the 2D side
scroller? It's a third person shooter. Like it's quite simple graphics.
Oh, the second one is.
Yeah, I think the first
one
one was 2D. Actually,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah. So really, Risk of Rain 2. It was good. It was good. It's one I'm done with that, I think. Like
seen what it has.
Seen what it has to offer, and there's you could honestly play it for ages, but and there's a whole bunch of characters to unlock, but I don't. I'll leave it on my PlayStation, and maybe if I feel bored, I'll do that. But I do recommend it. Maybe a little bit repetitive, I think, potentially.
Did you land on that because you were avoiding Slay the Spire?
No, it was free. It was just something I saw. I think it was before. I think I started playing before. Oh, no, it can't have been because this would have been after Slay the Spire. No, I had a bunch of games installed on my PlayStation. I think that was just one of them.
Yep.
And then
in a post Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah, it was
world.
post. It was like in between post, in between Unicorn Overlord and Crimson Desert, which we'll get to.
Yeah,
just two massive games.
Just buckle up.
And then the second game I played was Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So I bought a PlayStation 5 Pro. I did actually beat the price rise by a day. Basically a day. I was like, I pulled the trigger. I was like, do it. So I did it. And the PlayStation 5 Pro is very good. The problem with the PlayStation 5 Pro is that Call of Duty Black Ops 7 runs like crap on it. My cousin bought it as well. We usually play together. We just enable each other, basically. Around this time, if we haven't picked it up, we usually pick it up. And it's playable, but I would say 2 out of every 5 gunfights, I just pause and just the screen stops, like full on stuttering, and I'm just dead.
Oh no!
Wow, that is bad.
It's really bad. This is on a PlayStation 5 Pro, and apparently it's like a thing that everyone's been talking about, and they're like, I'm not gonna do anything about it. It's like, so your premium console users for this game, you're not going to look after them. You're not going to do anything with patching. You're not going to figure out.
It's crazy.
It's bad.
And
it's embarrassing.
How is it specific to the Pro?
I don't know.
No idea. How is it even happening?
Is it like the PSSR or something? Some sort of interaction with that, or no one's been able to figure it out. There's a whole bunch of people on the forums. Some people have had a pretty good experience with it, but
so it's across the board. Like every user,
a lot of like PS5 Pro specifically.
They're like, right, let's toss the 5-sided dice and figure out if I'm going to get screwed in this fight.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not like the standard PlayStation users. So Russ has got a regular PS5. Mine was already in the box when I sort of loaded it up, and I was like, I'm not unpacking it to play Call of Duty. I don't care that much. Yeah, it's just a real baffling. And this was the most likely one I was to just not play it. I just just got a bit excited. It was on special. Other than that, the gameplay's good. It's solid. It's just more Call of Duty. It's quite sweaty though. My second game or third game, I was like level 5, and I ended up getting in a lobby of just all Master Prestige. These guys were like Prestige, like Master Prestige are 10 levels of Prestige, and then like in the thousands and like hundreds of extra levels of Prestige.
And you're going there, I'm 4.
Yeah, and I've got like base level gun. Still doing all right. Like still like kind of getting like top 2. So like pretty happy. But I was like, yeah, okay, this skill-based matchmaking is still very much alive in Black Ops 7. I don't recommend that game to anyone.
Noted.
Makes my tummy hurt.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, sorry, team. Just wanted to play the bit. Okay, so the big game I've been playing was indeed Crimson Desert. I think I sort of played around with the idea of getting it, and I pulled the trigger because one of our other mates picked it up, and I thought it'd be some good water cooler chat. So where do I begin? I just will say we actually got a notepad with a bunch of words.
I just got the water too with a bunch of words.
Thanks for the
settling
water,
in for the long haul.
Yeah. Feel free to interject anytime and ask any questions. So overall, I think this game is definitely more than the sum of its parts, and it has a lot of parts. There are so many parts of this game. There are so many mechanics and systems. And I don't even know, like maybe 30 hours into the game, 40 maybe at the most, which is not too bad. But I'm still unlocking new bits and pieces.
It's a good way to explain it, like how when Path of Exile came out and they had their skill tree, and it's just like
it just explodes.
Is that kind of like what this game is?
Yeah, not necessarily like it's the specific thing, but it's all a bunch of these little mini games or mini mechanics and stuff. So there's like base building, there's like just your general moves, there's recruiting extra people to work on your base, there's just general exploration, all the weapons, all the pickups.
What about some of the more like out-of-fit systems?
Dating simulator?
Like the puzzles are quite... yeah. No, real missed opportunity, actually. There's no dating symbol. There's no like kind of romancing, which is such a staple for these sorts of games.
Back to Fable you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to Fable.
Which is interesting because a lot of the NPCs have this like some sort of like relationship.
Yeah, there's a
underlying
relationship.
system.
Yeah, there's a relationship system, but you can't marry them.
Yeah.
Which would be really cool if you go marry like the random like shopkeep in a village over there. And, like,
I want discounts.
yeah. They've really doubled down on like sort of fun versus realism. Even the horse, an example is like the horse mechanics, the way the horse moves. In some games it can be quite clunky and kind of more real. The way it sort of turns and accelerates, or like even with The Witcher and stuff. Like yeah. But this one's gone for more. It's almost arcadey. It sort of reacts to the environment. You can jump off quite high things and kind of you won't just fall off, and it just seems quite maneuverable. Like,
I saw
so
a wee
it's fun versus
it's fun. Yeah.
I saw a wee snippet where the horse like jumped off a little cliff and then it like drifted and did like a little
that's
the
really
horse
drift your
drifting-
horse.
The
You can
horse
drift your
drifting
horse.
looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, there's whole, I haven't really figured out how to do it, but you can do it. You press circle or something. I haven't really figured it out.
Akira, yeah, but with the horse.
But most people like actually use just jumping, running around, because there's like the fog of war that you kind of go through, and you kind of unlock sort of fast travel points. And you always just kind of want to see what's under this waterfall or what's over this rise, or like, and it's just such a. You can just once you get to a certain point of the game, you can just pick a direction. Oh, that's a cool mountain. I'm going to go there. And you might not actually find anything on top of the mountain. It's usually something, some puzzle.
You have to fight the waterfalls though, right? To get
Yeah,
through
you
them.
do. Yeah, you do. You actually
Combat.
do. There's a special there's a special mechanic for these waterfalls where you just sort of stab through them to access behind them, and you don't always know if there's anything behind them. Sometimes you just be stabbing a waterfall and just get hurt by the waterfall and just like bail off a cliff and
wins.
die.
Stab the waterfall and there's like some secret like vendor behind there, like damn
You
it.
locked yourself out of a
Yeah.
quest line.
I mean, when you said there are many parts, I wasn't expecting fighting waterfalls.
Yeah,
So it's,
it's a little bit janky.
Little do you know.
to be honest, but it's how you get through the waterfalls.
so you're saying that one's maybe not one of the better parts?
No, it's,
Maybe-
it's kind of cool. Like it's
Maybe
it's-
don't
it's-
go
yeah.
fighting waterfalls.
It's in the realm of like drifting horses fighting waterfalls, you know?
Yeah,
Why not?
yeah. So, yeah, stick to the rivers and lakes. Going back to the fun sort of aspect, they give you just wings, so you can just start flying from the
Okay.
very start of the game. That's usually like a late game mechanic that's flying. This is like one of the first first hour at least. They chuck you like kind of Tears of the Kingdom, sky city sort of situation. And you fall off, you just jump off, and then you just have these black sort of crow wings that let you sort of glide around, and they don't really explain why. It's just you have them. Okay,
It sounds like explaining why things are going on is not their
they're
strong
not
suit.
about that. Yeah, they're not about that.
Secondary to the gameplay.
But one of those criticisms that's been labelled as like a mile wide and an inch deep sort of thing, and I just don't necessarily agree with that. The story maybe, but they're like these mechanics, they've put time into the base like building, to the kind of gear system, and it all kind of does function quite well. It's definitely not a game that they've half-assed.
Do you,
I just
from
disagree with it.
what you see, have they integrated a lot of those little side systems? Like, have they integrated them enough into the game? It's not just like, oh, you used this mechanic once, like 20 hours ago,
Oh,
and it just hasn't come back. Is it actually well integrated?
yeah, all the
throughout?
puzzle stuff is like used quite a lot. Yeah, I haven't done heaps of puzzle stuff, and puzzles are quite hit and miss. Some are like really cool. Oh, that's a cool puzzle. I like that. And some of them like, there's no way I would have figured that out without a guide.
Oh, right.
Like it's like so obtuse. You're like, nah, I'm not about that. which is fine. I'm more than happy to go and look up a guide. I don't care that much.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm here.
Keep the game going.
Yeah,
Definitely.
keep things moving.
How's your cat army going?
I have not. I've actually got a dog, so I've got. Yeah, so you can get a cat. You can like befriend cats. There's a cat village apparently, and that's where you find the cats really. But you can, and they just your pets. You just summon them because they don't have. It's not about logic. It's not about anything making sense. So when you befriend your cat, you can have up to 20 cats or dogs, and they just appear. And they the cool thing is like it's not just for looks. They actually like pick up items. So they'll actually like go and like your cats and dogs will like pick up all the items because it doesn't have like a highlight system where it's like everything's highlighted for you to pick up. You kind of just have to look at it and see if you can pick it up.
Is it like here's a half-eaten bird for you?
Yeah,
Master. Just what you want.
Yeah, just sitting there looking. But yeah, you can also put armor on your cats for some reason. I don't know.
Do the cats talk?
No. Oh, no, not that I know of.
No, okay.
Didn't is it Monster World? No, Monster Hunter.
Monster
had
Hunter,
your
the
cats.
Calico or something?
Yeah.
Is
that they're trying to like pull on that a little bit?
Well,
Cats are great, to be honest. But
people do love
it's
cats.
kind of a bit of a tangent, but the fact that there's a village of cats kind of made me wonder whether it's set within this whole game, which could explain why it's so wacky. Is the game set within Lovecraft's Dreamlands? Because there's a village of cats in Dreamlands, and there's all sorts of insane stuff that goes on in the Dreamlands.
It could make they can make a bit of sense actually.
If don't get on the wrong side of a cat.
Is that
that whole village is coming after your ass.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I just love that the cats are kleptomaniacs.
Yeah, they steal shit.
Yeah.
Bring back to you. The combat itself is quite. At first, I wasn't really vibing with it. I was like, "This is very simple and not and quite complicated." But now, I had someone frame it to me like it's a fighting game. If you think about all there's so many button combinations to do different moves, and you kind of unlock a whole bunch as you go throughout the game. It is actually quite cool the way you can fully go like fist,
not
fisticuffs.
overwhelming though. Yeah. It sounds to me like there's so many different.
Me.
You just I can't forget, so you just then rely on the X square circle or whatever
and
you're
you do
pressing, and then that's enough.
Smashing R1, R2. You can totally play it that way. Yeah, but I like fighting games, so it's kind of for me. It's pretty sweet just doing RKOs and stuff. And just like clotheslines and shit.
Top of the mountain.
Yeah.
The difficulty is there that you do need to use your toolkit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you need potions.
Yes, difficulties. We should stay on them. Yeah. We'll touch base on that later, won't we?
They may have been really good with the updating. They've made a whole bunch of changes. There was no inventory. They've kind of like done a full sort of base camp inventory system where you can just put your stuff in there. Apparently, the launch all we had is your slots in your 100 slots, and there are thousands of things you can pick up. Like there's so much.
Half-eaten birds.
literally half-eaten bird sort of thing. It is crazy.
Special little stash.
Cook all
just
the
for your
birds. You can cook all the meat and stuff, and different kinds of like grilled meat. And
here's your rare, medium rare.
All the different kinds.
Oh, you'll love that. The fact it's got cooking.
The cooking's great.
Fishing?
It's fishing. Oh yeah, there's fishing.
Yeah,
fishing's awesome.
Nice.
Man. Yeah, all that stuff's great. Even the fishing mechanics actually pretty solid. I did not know how it worked. I actually looked up a YouTube video. I was like, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? Like, what's going on?
Oh, yes.
It actually makes sense when you actually read.
What was that game? Sorry, jumping on that game we played as a kid. That all I can hear was not game fish.
Fisherman's Bait.
That was the best.
Too.
The best fishing. It was a fishing game, so obviously you'd hope the fishing mechanics were good. But you'd catch a fish and then you'd weigh it, and you'd be, here's your fish. It's 2 kgs. He'd be weighing it with his hand, and the cut scene it would come up, and the fish was like 500 kgs. And he's just like, look at this fish. He's holding up with his hands, and it's like it fits up like the fish fits up like. You've got 10% of the fish on the screen because it's just so massive, and they're like 425 kilos. And like, mate, you're bloody strong. It was great that game.
Yeah, loved it.
You can catch kiwis. Oh, it's kind of fun. But you can't really do anything with them. You can kill them. We don't want to do that. We're not about that. So you can catch them and play with them. I want you to be able to farm them, but you can't. I don't think you can. But they're there. They're called kiwi birds.
Are they fast and
they're
vicious?
They're just
Do they fly?
No, they don't fly. They just run around. They just jump. They just run around.
You could take them. You could jump from what's the thing in the sky? The
like the
mountain
abyss or something.
The abyss. Yeah. Could you take them with you and then show them how to fly?
No,
teach the kiwis.
Yeah, I think there's a high risk play. I feel you may let go and
Sorry, can I go back to your sort of like the more the RPG elements,
Right.
For your character and where you take your character, what kind of build you like? Is there options to build your character in different ways?
Kind of. Not. You've got like these. The gear system is more gear based versus level based. They aren't really levels.
Oh yeah.
And so you can kind of pick a bunch of different sort of weapon styles and use these. It's kind of like runes, something like from like Diablo or like there's like socketed things would give your weapons abilities. All the weapons are kind of the same. So they're kind of more aesthetic, and you pick them up, and they'll come up with a gear, and you can take the gear out and put it into another weapon, and so you can just find your favorite weapon and use that.
Okay.
That's kind of as about as RPG as it gets for that. And then there's like a skill tree which you put more what they call abyssal, some sort of artifacts, I think.
Yep. And so that unlocks more abilities.
Yeah, unlocks more abilities, gives you more stats, and that's how you level up. Yes. It is an RPG in that respect. I reckon it's just a different way of doing it. It's not an RPG in terms of expressing like multiple choices or like Cliff. Cliff is like just the most vanilla. Just
Cliff with a K.
Cliff with a K, yeah.
Oh wow, there we go.
You know, he'll do like a big massive spiel about like, so you'll get a quest from someone and they'll be telling you about their life story about, you know, their missing dog or whatever.
Skip.
And and then you'll go up to the so they'll pour their heart out and he's like, all right. And then like, and he just walks off and does all right. And it's just really just it's not
dialogue.
There's not much to him.
I guess so.
I would say all the NPCs have a lot more personality. There's a guy called Jan in the game, and
His
he's
name
just
is Jan.
Jan. Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
WANN, and he's just a fucking loose bastard. Like his lines. I'll flick some of his some videos I've taken of him just swearing like and just being a real just loose unit. And like every time you get a quest from Jan, it's like him drunk in a puddle or something, and or like being arrested or getting into a fight, and you're like, these characters are awesome.
He sounds like he fits in on a night out.
Yeah.
There wasn't any puddle involved. Things, but
Yeah. So when you stumble across him, are you like, oh, it's Jan.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's up to.
Yeah, he's just real loose. And then you've got the rivalries between the different like camp members. They have like the camp members have way more like the other Greymanes. The Greymanes, the guys who trying to get back together.
Boys getting back.
they're way more interesting
way
than
more interesting
yourself.
than Cliff. Cliff is kind of like he's cool because he's got a cool Scottish accent, but he's kind of lame. Like, there's no development.
that they voiced him at all.
He's a great voice actor. Like the thing about this game is it has
right.
genuinely good voice acting, like really superb voice acting. And the localization they did well with like actually the lines they kind of translated, and the actual lines are well written, but they just don't mean anything, and it's just like it's inconsequential. Like these story beats. Yeah, all right.
You can fast forward the cutscenes as well, can't you? Not skip. You can just put them on double
I wish
speed.
you could just skip. To be honest, some of these are just pointless.
Kind of unique, right? To
Yeah,
an
it
RPG.
is. It's weird. I
It's
don't know.
all right.
Yeah,
all right. All right.
But it's not even. It's like kind of like a 1.25 speed. It's not even that much faster. So you're like holding it. Like, is it faster? I don't know.
It'd be great to slow it down.
I'd also heard an interesting thing brought up that there seem to be quite long gaps between some of the line reads sometimes. Have you encountered that?
Yeah. So speeding it up doesn't really make it go faster.
You get like
by much.
little chunks where there's just kind of a full second between
yeah.
like one sentence and the next type thing.
doesn't
That's
flow.
an
Kind
odd
of
one.
awkward. Like, did Cliff just hear him? And then he's like, all right.
Yeah.
He's on it.
Well, let me look into that. Yeah, exploration is probably the highlight of this game. I would say it is one of the best. It genuinely is. When other reviewers will talk about it, talk about the exploration and being like Skyrim in terms of that sense of wonder. 100%. Like you can just.
That's cool.
You climb up, and because you can climb up everything as well, it just gives you that verticality that a lot of those other games don't have. It's kind of got bits of Assassin's Creed. It kind of reminds me of Assassin's Creed quite a lot. And I was thinking about it actually. I was like, why do I bounce off Assassin's Creed where this is so endearing to me? Like Crimson Desert, and they're very similar in terms of like navigation and kind of even the actual aesthetic of the world. I think it's because this has a little bit more of not knowing what you're going to get, and there's a bit of a mystery there. Like you're not always gonna. You can go on a big exploration, and not necessarily get anything that great, but you'll fight a bunch of dudes and maybe get some XP or like not XP, get some upgrades and maybe rescue some people. Or it's just kind of these stories you sort of come across as you navigate the landscape. With Assassin's Creed, it's got that Ubisoft thing where it's like here's all the things. Here's a map. Here's a bunch of dots. Go to the dots. Check them off.
And you kind of know what you're going to get when you get there, right?
They even tell you what weapon you can get.
right.
Oh, I'm going to go here for that weapon. Whereas, like, I kind of like not knowing. And if I really want to know something, I'll be like, I'll just Google it. Goddamn.
You do get to fight the Pope though in one of the Assassin's Creed. It's pretty cool.
2? Was it 2?
Yeah, he turns into like some guy that can like shoot lasers out of his.
The laser
I'm
pipe.
like,
Everyone knows about the laser pipe. It's a piece of history.
Well established.
Bring a laser
games.
Kiwi to the laser pope fight.
Yeah,
It's a serious historical game.
it's what he could do in real life, right?
So you feel like it's like the exploration is more rewarding, but not necessarily in terms of loot.
No, not in terms
It's
of loot or
like
mechanics.
The
Even
experiences.
it's just fun. Just looking at visually, it's just fun looking at these beautiful landscapes.
Weird stuff to find.
Yeah, weird stuff to find. Weird creatures. You love. What the fuck is that? I went into this one place where they had like tree huts with like they looked like little Ewok things. I don't know what they were. It just reminded me of like what's the Ewok planet called? Can't remember what it's called.
Jeez.
Whatever it is.
Andor.
Andor.
Thank you.
No,
That's safe.
right? No, not Andor. That's the guy.
There is a planet.
Endor?
The forest moon. Endor.
Endor.
Not
Yeah,
Andor.
nice.
Man, they're running out of Star Wars names.
So yeah, it's like-
Odor.
but
I don't know that one.
you'd get to the top of these like little tree hut things, and then the people, the inhabitants, would just like not about you, and they just like push you off. Like, it's like, get out of my house, fall into a swamp. They're just kind of little emergent, kind of little experiences that you have as you experience, just explore this.
See, that makes me quite excited. I love that kind of exploration and discovery aspect of games. Like, especially where you don't really know what you're going to find. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy a bit of map ticking off. Like, that's fun in its own way. But there's something nice about just kind of wandering around a place and discovering weird, interesting bits. Yeah.
Even
Funny
the simple
tears.
fact of uncovering the fog of war on the map and being like, I know that place. I've been there and I've experienced it.
Yeah, I've done the thing.
Do you go to areas where it's like, well, you said there's not really levels, but there's areas that you can't really access because your gear's too
low?
shit?
A little bit, but I think you
Too
kind of
far
overcome it
away.
if you're good enough. You just like bash it. Like I beat a boss, which I probably wasn't supposed to at the time. And I was like,
Now speaking of that,
Just
actually,
skill.
I've got a couple of questions that I've sort of heard coming up in other people's experiences with the game. Whereabouts in the chapter
I'm
structure are you?
I'm six.
Six, right?
So I've got through to kind of open up the world more, like to be able to have more access to abilities and
Yeah, 'cause one of the things I was hearing is that is in some of those later chapters, it sounds like you can end up with a real loop of where and it like be interesting with the way you're enjoying it as a fighting game to see whether this kind of applies for you at all or whether you're finding it a very different experience. People talking about the bosses kind of being or feeling somewhat unavoidable in terms of their attacks on you, that they can just kind of hit you and you're going to take damage almost no matter what. And therefore you need to kind of chug through food as healing items.
You
and
do.
they sort of felt like, there was this loop where basically like, okay, to take on this boss, you're going to have to go around and just like raid everything for all the food that you can possibly make and then like have enough tankage to actually take on the boss, and it sort of turns into this weird circle that you have to go through. Have you sort of encountered any of that?
I'm kind of I've been doing that. Like you just have an absolute feast while you're playing. Like, you're just like eating like your
Just
grilled meat and stuff.
Running
Clear soup.
with your biltong.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, your biltong, your dried meats. Yeah. There's a bit of that. I think you can probably be skilled enough to avoid most of those attacks if you buff up your stamina, so you can kind of go more like the Dark Souls sort of dodging sort of way.
The Naked Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
The rich.
rolling
Leader
around
solo
randomly.
sort of stuff. Yeah.
Does it give you a little bit of that sort of Elden Ring?
No, not
Combat
really. I don't think so.
No.
Elden Ring's so refined. I was gonna say like the combat in this is just a bit. It's a bit messy. It's not quite as tight as something like. Yeah, sometimes when you die, like that wasn't my fault. There was just like some weird glitch or some weird animation that the bosses sort of like inflicted on me, sort of thing.
Would you say the combat feels like somewhere between a character action game and something more like a Souls-like, where it's a bit looser but not super fast?
Not super
or-
fast. It's kind of like between Assassin's Creed and Elden, or like the Souls games, I would say.
Okay.
Maybe more towards the Assassin's Creed. It's like parrying. Parrying's pretty sweet.
I like parrying.
Yeah, you can, like, so you can do the sword block where you like block someone has your sword, smash R2, and you can like disarm them as well, which is quite cool. So once you kind of figure out all those different mechanics, it's your engagements are quite fun. One thing I heard later on is that because the enemies don't respawn in this game, unlike Souls games, you can if you're super hardcore, which is probably not going to be me, You can just have like an empty map and everyone's dead.
And you just have a peaceful
Wow.
It's a
world.
peaceful world,
Okay.
yeah, which is really
Okay.
cool. And some people are like, oh, no, but I've got all this high level gear. I want some end game stuff. But I think they're going to patch in. Speaking of like just how responsive they've been, they're going to patch in a whole bunch of new sort of boss replay mechanics. And I think now enemies, or when they release a patch, more enemies will be able to take over the different fortifications. So you will be able to, so
So you can-
I mean,
so-
they're just addressing it. Like they hear something on Reddit and they're like, yeah, okay, we'll change it. They're just
They're
so
incredibly-
fast.
Yeah, so responsive.
To the point where I think I might give this put it down for a while and let them cook.
See where it ends up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come back in 6 months if I can.
They're probably still cooking.
I know, right? Like, yeah, this is a game that I will just, to anyone listening, I don't think you need to play it now. It's great now. But if you wait for a year, it'll be amazing. I shudder to think what this is going to be like after a year. And usually I play these sorts of games after a year, like Stalker 2. I'll probably say Starfield. I'll probably play that. That might be what I go on to.
Well, Stalker 2's got an expansion coming as well.
Oh, does it? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And the other sort of mechanical thing I'm curious about that just keeps coming up repeatedly is people jumping in and immediately saying, "Man, I hate how this feels to move around." You obviously kind of managed to push through
I
that,
just disagree.
or not worried
I
about
just
it.
disagree. I just don't think it's that bad. Like straight up, I just don't. I thought it was going to be real bad. I thought it was going to be real slow. Nah, like get some gear that gives you a bit more movement, so you're a little bit more movable. You hold X to sprint. You used to have to mash X like in Red Dead Redemption game, but now it's just hold X to sprint. And yeah, the controls are, once you know the controls, it's fine. It feels as I haven't played Witcher in a long time. It feels like with The Witcher.
Witcher 3-esque in terms
Yeah,
of
it
momentum
really
and
does. Well, the way it kind of operates in there.
yeah. And I mean, I know a lot of people kind of really struggled with that as well. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it feels better." I didn't have a problem with that.
I think if you were fine with Witcher, you should be fine with
Right.
this.
Oh, that's a really interesting, kind of useful comparison point.
Did you
Yeah,
see
particularly with the controller.
Did you see the CD Projekt released a new controller as well, specifically for use with The Witcher?
No.
It's a
The pedals.
dummy horse that you ride on to control while you're riding
Was this
Roach.
like April the 1st?
No, it's real. It's real.
Is it like a hobby horse or a hobby
yeah,
horse?
hobby horse. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hobby horse. Because I don't. Did you know, Gareth, about this? The horse in The Witcher, and it had a real knack for like ending up in really weird
On
places,
roofs,
like on
yeah.
Right, yeah.
roofs of houses.
Roach gets around.
Roach, how did you
Roach,
get up
that's right.
there? Yeah, so yeah, just it's April Fools. They released the hobby horse to control Roach, which is so
Yeah.
funny.
It's Crimson Desert. Highly recommend. If you don't need to play it now, don't play it now. Wait till they've patched it up.
I like that as an assessment. It really does sound like something that's
Great.
probably going to improve with time,
Yeah.
based on how responsive it sounds like they're being. And I'm gonna just kind of chuck that on my wish list and
Yeah,
wait to see what happens. I
Yeah,
think.
definitely, man. Yeah, it'll drop in price. Yeah.
Does Cliff? Does he sling magic at all? Or is he just a sword and board kind of guy?
Not specifically magic. He's got abilities which are kind of magical. Like he's got certain things you can put on weapons that give you kind of magic-ish abilities, magic adjacent abilities, but he can't do fireballs or anything.
Okay.
That I know of. Maybe that changes.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah. I'm not that far through, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, he can fly. What else?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fly, herd cats.
Yeah,
Fireballs,
all
everything.
like, and this is just like after my very, like not that long with the game. I've heard people like playing like 100 hours, 100 plus. There's all these extra things that sort of
Awesome.
pop up. So, watch the space. I will update us as I keep playing. Yeah. How about you, Dave? What have you been getting amongst?
I'm pretty uneventful this episode. I have been pretty much exclusively playing Slay the Spire 2 because, boy, that could become a problem for me. That game's very good. That obviously being in early access is kind of still being adapted on the fly as well. Again, the team there, I believe that the studio now does have, they are now a sort of small to medium studio behind it. And so they're kind of beavering away, just working on both completing and expanding the game and just balancing, lots of balancing at the moment.
I would hope that the sheer amount of profit they've made, they've hired more than.
God,
well,
they've done all right.
He's
Yeah,
expanded outside of just himself.
They have done quite well.
Yeah.
And they deserve to, because it's a hell of a game. It's very good. I think overall still it's interesting that really in many ways it does kind of feel like a 1.5 of the first. It feels like they just kind of refined and polished the first one to a pretty fine point. And the co-op's fantastic. So I've been playing quite a chunk of the co-op with a mate. That's up to 4-player co-op, I believe. I need to sort of try and bully you guys into having a crack at it with me so that we can all have a problem.
Have you got any sort of like more you could tell us about the co-op and how?
Yeah. So the co-op is essentially not a huge departure from the single player, really, which is kind of how you want it, because the single player is quite fast. It's you're just kind of throwing your cards out there, and other than sort of periods of consideration about, how am I going to get myself out of this sticky situation, or how can I maximize what I can do here? And the co-op's very much the same in that it's a simul-turn, so you and everyone else are just playing your cards kind of willy-nilly as you like, but with room, obviously, to coordinate over chat, so that you can be like, okay, I'm going to play my vulnerable on this enemy so that you can deal some more damage to it, or I'm going to do this to give us the opportunity to move into the next thing. So you can really kind of coordinate a bit and also use an interesting selection of multiplayer specific cards which they've built in, which really allow you to kind of bounce off the other players' skills and things. So you can kind of combo stuff together in some really interesting ways. Like there's some quite powerful cards that say allow you to give another player more energy that allows them to play more cards, and like attacks that will, or sort of wind ups where you can be like, okay, I'm going to place a player card on you that allows you to double play your next attack, or doubles the damage of your next attack, or something like that. So you can kind of springboard off each other. So you can be like, oh, whoa, do you have a big attack that you can use this turn? Because if you've got something really big, I'll use this double damage card on you, and then you can, deal 100 damage instead of 50 or whatever it is, that sort of thing. So you can just be like, okay, make sure you play that next after I hit you with this, and then away we go.
So you could build a fully support character to support your teammates?
I don't know if I'd go as far as full support, just because there aren't really enough kind of co-op specific cards in there. They're certainly in the minority at the moment, but they have definitely put the effort into make some co-op specific cards that obviously you only come across, or draw into when you are playing the co-op version, because they'd be useless in single player. So they're not a massive portion of the roster, but there's enough in there that they add some really interesting variety to the gameplay, and you can play a bit of support. You can kind of make a deck that builds in some things that allow you to really say, you might have your kind of damage forward character who's just like really smashing some stuff out. I had a run just recently where we ended up with one character who was essentially tanking for both of us, and he was able to give me passive armor so that I could kind of resist enemy attacks, and then I was just kind of doing a lot of like card draw engine stuff, and also being able to then like give him energy so that he could do more of that kind of reinforcement stuff. And so you ended up with this real like sort of almost one DPS, one tank type character where you're able to kind of reinforce each other's capabilities. Cool. That's really interesting and really fun, the way that stuff kind of bounces off the other cards. And it changes the way those characters' card pools can work as well. So that's been kind of really enjoyable.
It's just saying like the next run you'd play could be entirely different, where you line up your cards in a different way, I'd line up your characters in different ways, and they'd feed off each other.
There are so many kind of build archetypes that you can kind of go down the alleyways of with the different characters. So I believe they're working pretty hard on adding, I think they're talking about maybe 10 to 12 characters or something in the final version of the game.
Yep.
So at the moment there's 5, and they all play quite differently. They tend to be sort of, I guess they tend to fit into some sort of deck builder archetypes to a certain extent, where you can be focusing on kind of damage and draw and various different things. But they found some really interesting sort of gnarly little ways of shifting things around, and so you can have these sort of interesting combined builds and different things you can do. And obviously with the sort of card drafting random element to it, you really just have to sort of take what you're given and adapt to it. So it's a little bit of a more tactical than strategic some of the time. We're like, well, work with the cards you're given.
This game sounds
RPG.
incredibly dangerous.
Yes.
Very much so. Yeah.
Because I've
I'm
actually
picking up.
seen sort of similarities to how Clair Obscur combat works.
I wanted to drop the name that I heard all that support stuff, and I was like, CL.
CL, yeah.
And I was like, it feels like even the other games that I've kind of touched on from recommendations from you guys and other podcasts, a lot of these games seem to be tying together into the sort of shit that I like. Oh my God. Getting dangerous.
How cool would Clair Obscur or Slay the Spire crossover be? You know, like maybe a character comes in from Clair Obscur and
CL,
Well,
I think. CL would
Yeah.
probably be the one.
She'd be the jam.
Should be so
and then you're just building a deck for a Clair Obscur character. Would be quite cool.
She's already got a deck of cards, mate.
True.
She just throws them at you.
Yes.
That's what I liked about it.
kind of right there, isn't it? The crossover's already doing itself.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So that's basically been me the entire time. I have been just kind of doing a run most evenings, sort of thing. I'll just hop on, do a run.
Take it out of context,
and,
that sounds weird.
Yeah, but you
you're
made
not
it sound like
eating curry
every
or something.
waking hour since we last you've been playing.
I had I had a first crack at the what they call the daily challenges the other day. So now that I've sort of unlocked all the characters and done some initial runs with them, had to go at a daily run, which was those are really kind of interesting in addition to the game as well, where essentially you're playing a kind of mutated semi-preset run where it'll throw in some curveballs. So like the one I played the other day was with the Ironclad as the character. So it tends to be a character that sort of relies on using up cards, exhausting cards, and like generally fairly tanky and blocky with some big hits. And so one of the mutators was it gives you a random deck to start, so you get basically a completely randomized set of 30 cards, which just makes things pretty chaotic. You can get kind of anything that isn't necessarily going to gel in any way at all. And it had a shifted, so normally when you fight a sort of regular room of enemies, you'll get a new card or some cards to choose from to add to your deck, so you can
Like
add
his
some
congratulations, kind of.
yeah. So you get a card reward. In this, instead of getting card rewards from fighting the rooms of standard enemies, you would get an artifact, which essentially, again, is a passive that will affect your gameplay in some way or another. So basically giving you passive buffs, generally
So
speaking.
you could have a fight, pick that up, and then the next room you fight, you pick up another artifact and go, well, shit, now I've got to change my approach. Or not pick it up.
Not quite, because the artifacts you just stack them up. Like you just keep
Okay.
adding them to your collection, and so it can shift your build because you might get an artifact that
Focus.
really can help you lean towards something specific and seem like, okay, well, let's take advantage of that and start kind of building into that. Right. And in this, like, because you're getting normally artifacts, you're not getting heaps of them. You got to kind of fight the sort of higher level elite enemies and things to get artifacts normally, which are much fewer and further between than the standard enemies. But yeah, this daily run had artifacts instead of cards. So instead of building your deck, you're kind of sticking with your starter deck, with a few exceptions, and building on all these artifacts, all these passive buffs. So you end up with this crazy number of passive buffs going on, a kind of chaotic deck, and then this mechanic that reduced your max health by 1 every time you went into a room. So as you're navigating the spiral all the way to the top through the 3 acts, your health is just reducing the entire time. So you're getting like more and more vulnerable towards the end. So I think I started on, I can't remember how much it was health, maybe it's like 70, 80 something, ended on like 30 max health. It's just getting like a little bit squeaky.
Dicey.
But yeah, then I just ended up with this absolutely crazy kind of chaotic build out of it where I was just gaining insane amounts of damage through combinations of all the artifacts I'd picked up, and the card selection I had, where I was gaining huge amounts of strength, which effectively just increases your damage output. And so almost every combat turned into a one-turn affair, where it was basically just
Bonk it on the
draw
head.
my cards, have a bit of a draw engine going on, gain insane amounts of strength, and then have a card that basically exhausted, discarded, destroyed all the cards in my hand to deal insanely huge amounts of damage to whatever I was fighting. So like pretty much everything was one turn, with no hit back generally from the enemies, which was quite good because my health was getting lower and lower the whole time. And I think the longest fight I had was the final boss, which was 4 turns. So it was just very rapid, and the entire run was like less than half the length, time-wise, of my normal runs. And that seems to be a little bit of the theme with the daily challenges. They kind of, because they tend to be a lot more unbalanced than the standard game is. They're this real kind of wild card thing where it's like this could go real easily or real badly for you, and either way, it's probably going to be over quite quick. So I'm sort of thinking that might turn into a bit of a pattern of maybe I try and do one normal run and then have a crack at the daily run, and that still fits within a semi-reasonable amount of playtime sort of thing, without completely consuming my life. I don't know, we'll see how that goes.
2.5 hours, yeah.
Just as a small caveat.
But yeah, they continue to sort of improve the game. Again, they seem to be being fairly responsive. There's sort of been some slightly weird cases where they may be potentially caving to some yelling a little bit every now and then, where people are like getting really upset about their favourite card being nerfed, and they've kind of stepped back on that. But while saying that, they've also been like, okay, we get that you guys aren't happy with this, but we are gonna like make this less powerful in some other way because this is too much. Yeah. So calm your farm. But I think it's going to be interesting just watching how that game ends up balancing out. Because it seems like they're doing a lot of work on it, and I look forward to some new characters coming out for it as well, because there's some real nice variety between the different characters and the different builds at the moment.
Do they have an estimated date for 1.0?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I haven't checked that. I definitely think it's in early access for at least the rest of this year. Like, I don't think there's a 1.0 in 2026. Yeah. Your fantasy critic is. It's unfortunate because it's an extremely good game. Yeah. It's going to be reviewed extremely high, but it's not technically out yet.
So I get nothing.
God. I'll just see if I can find anything on the 1.0 release, but I'm not sure if it's even kind of confirmed yet.
Yeah, it's one of my picks. Probably one of my best picks.
If it came out, it'd be like a 90, I'd say.
Yeah.
90 plus.
Are there open critic scores for it?
No, not at the point. I'm just looking at it. It's set at 0.
Yeah, at the moment they are just saying estimated 2027 release date. They're just doing a whole bunch of polishing content additions at the moment. And at the moment, it does have quite endearing placeholder art in a lot of places where it's just like scribbly, like MS Paint drawings, which is I quite like some of those. They've got a lot of character. So yeah, that's me.
Nice.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to hop on that at some stage. I was distracted by Space Marine 2, which I won't go into. I'll talk about that next time. How about you, Nate?
So where to start? I kind of want to wait till Gareth returns. He has returned. You what now?
Where are we up to? We're up to me, are we?
No, you go. If you
Sure?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Gareth, and I'm I guess I want to preface with what I've been playing with an overarching theme, which was brought up in your last podcast 2 weeks ago, with the post-game completion depression, which is still wild because I finished this game probably at the end of January, and it is not January anymore. It's a few months after January.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess I preface with what I say next. So I've played a couple little games here and there, but none of the games seem to really hit or feel anymore.
Can't feel anymore.
And it's just, it's the honest truth. I've picked, this is Clair Obscur. Like, I'm just outrageously obsessed with this game. Best game by a country mile I've ever played.
That's huge.
And my most favorite game before that was Diablo 2, which is a very, very, very different game, and that was released a long time ago. But anyway, I have picked it up and started playing New Game or New Game Plus, or whatever it is. Everything has to be on 100 times health because it makes the battles like brutal. But that aside, so all this post-game depression, playing these other games, they don't hit so well, but that's because I'm sad that I've finished that other game. It's just that I can't go back and relive the game again for the first time is the main thing, which I think maybe you'd said on that part.
We had a little discussion about not being able to go home again, right? Like with all these things, you can't experience it again for the first time. Yeah.
I was like, I wouldn't, well, as Nate would know, like I going through kind of concussion-y things, I whacked my head a couple of years ago biking, and I was like, if I had done that again and lost my memory, I'd go play Clair Obscur again.
Please do not go.
The sole purpose, but obviously not going to go self-made. So that aside, so I've been playing a bit of that, a new game. So it's the same story, and I see a lot of like the main thing is just to see the small nuances of the story that I kind of overlooked. I kind of was a bit of smash and grab playing the game, so I just got really involved in the game. So my theories were pretty minimal. And most of them, if I had any theories, were very wrong, which is why I think I really liked Clair Obscur, is because I didn't really know what the hell was going on most of the time. It was just a mess, and I couldn't piece the story. I couldn't really pinpoint what was like actually happening, except that everything is just shit. And you're going through this like world of hell, trying to get to the end to find an answer.
Outside of your gameplay sessions, did you find yourself like your mind just on the story? Thinking about the story.
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely. But it's like reading a good book. Reading a good book, and you have a character in that book, and people ask you, how do you define that character? And then they make a TV show or a movie, then you've got this image in your mind. But like as a main character in a book, I could never really pinpoint what they really looked like. Or in this story, I couldn't really pinpoint what I was thinking about, what I was like still thinking about it. I mean, I guess trying to piece it together, but just with my clunky head, I probably just would like rather just enjoy mellowing into the story and understanding that I don't understand it.
Oh, yeah.
Just like living the mess with them. Like, so when I played this game in January, Clair Obscur, which again, so I'm playing it now, little bits every now and again. I was really sick for 2 weeks. It probably didn't help to divulge all my time into a game while I was sick, but I would be so tired and feel like crap, so I would play Clair Obscur and I'd forget that I was sick. So I just like immersed myself in the game almost to forget about real life. Playing a computer game when you're sick is probably not a great combo, because like point in case after I'd finished playing, and it was for pretty lengthy sessions where I'm like, I just want to go that little bit further. I want to fight that bastard over there, and I want to fight him 17 times because he's really hard. And then all of a sudden, I started at midday, and now it's like 7 p.m. and I haven't even gotten up. I haven't had a bathroom break. I haven't had water or food, and I'm just like, and I'm sick, so now I'm going to bed. So I did that for 2 weeks straight. So it probably prolonged my sickness a bit longer. But it felt like, with how the story is, without going into it too far, because I know Nate's quite into the game,
still,
that it made sense for how the story goes, that I immersed myself in the story.
And you starved yourself?
Myself from real world issues.
Including starving yourself while playing, because they probably weren't eating much on the expedition. It's pretty slim pickings out in there.
But half-eaten birds, like in Crimson Thingamajig.
Did you forget to wash too? Last
said
episode, talking about how they were always grubby. Were you also grubby?
I guess so. Like, I gotta be honest, my room probably smelled a bit like stinky sweat Gamer Boy after playing it. So
people were like, wash yourself, Gareth. Oh my god,
it's the best game. Like, I loved all of the mechanics. I loved it all, like trying to change people's skills to kind of like better mesh and get combos on whatever you're fighting. Now it's definitely like playing it more for the story to catch the small nuances that I've missed. Let's not go to that. And then just trying to really fine tune the combos, where you can't quite get. So I'm like, how can I maximize my damage against this thing, which is 100 times health, and it's in the stage where health probably doesn't matter, because if you get hit by whatever you're fighting, you're dead. But then you learn, I guess, the timings and parries, so you get quite used to it. So it's all just focusing on how much damage I can do and what combos can I set up. And shit, I didn't quite get it, so now let's do 7 more turns to try and set that up again. So I mean, I love the game. It's a pretty game. It's got a beautiful story. It's really dark and morbid, morose, and desperation. that I want to play it again. So I mean, I guess dabbling on that, but at the same point, like I was like, well, I have to try and branch out and play some other things. And some recommendations that have come from you guys, I've actually, well, where do I look now for other games? I'm like, well, people that like playing games maybe is a good outlet. And thinking of, Slay the Spire 2, which sounds very dangerous for me. I feel like I'll play it at some point, but I'm just like, wow, I'll temper my time maybe for a bit. As I picked up a couple of these like indie-ish style games, I guess they are. And there were two that I really quite liked. I'll go straight to the one that's crack cocaine straight to your veins, which was the Vampire Crawlers, which is, just here's something you fight. You've got a bunch of cards that do heaps of damage, and then holy shit, that was cool. I got some really cool combos. Let's fight the next thing around the corner. Bang, 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 bang. Oh man, I want to fight the next thing. And then it's like all of a sudden, I'm like, oh man, I got the next one. And there's the guy at the end of the room that I get the cool shit from, and he unlocks some more cards. So there's a different skill here now, and like I'm just like shooting up.
And that's really nails the fast pace, right? Like that game, you're just like throwing cards and stuff.
And even the music's like, get it. Don't even worry about like taking it orally. Just stick it in your veins. Like, oh man, I want to kill the next thing. Fuck. Like it just can't stop. That was really cool. I was really bummed when I finally finished it because it's just the early. Well, it's not even early access, right? It was just a demo.
It's a demo for now.
It's demo.
And when I first loaded it up, I'm like, what is this piece of crap? It's a really cool piece of crap. So it's just you basically, here's the thing, kill it, cool more, get new stuff, more combos, kill it in a more different way, and then you can unlock other characters too. But it's at its very beginnings, I suppose. So that's really cool. That could be a problem, that game in the future when it starts.
That game's going to be a problem for a lot of people.
And then the game that it had a similarity and had real close similarities to, I guess, Slay the Spire was Lootbound. And I played that and really liked that game. And that was more focused. So you're going, I guess you'd say like room to room, and you could go to a room with a monster, or a room that you could find resupplies, or a room where you upgrade your equipment, things like that.
Very, very heavily Slay the Spire influenced in its sort of structure, I would say. Yeah.
And then you have your character, and you can have like a couple of minions each side, kind of thing. But it's more dependent on what loot you find. So the loot you find, you've got your inventory. I think you explained it pretty well, but I'll just do it all again. In your inventory, you've got a certain amount of space, and you find items on your way from the stuff you fight, and they all interact with each other. So if you put your helmet next to your boots, next to your weapon, and that weapon next to that, and certain weapons are good for certain dudes you have, and some don't work at all.
And they're all Tetris block shaped.
Yeah, and they're all random shaped, and it's all about trying to like fit them in your inventory. So if they're on this side here, it gives you this bonus, but is that bonus better? And hold on, I'll put the rune or whatever inside my helm. Oh crap, now I've got a better helm. Oh, now these gloves are actually really good, but they don't fit. So it's like this balance of like making your character with these certain specialities, and like the next time you play it, you can have different equipment you pick up, or different weapons or armor or whatever. That was really cool to try and make it all fit. So the very, very fit. I did 2 runs, and that was all I needed to do because the second run I managed to get to the end, and again it's just a demo. The first run I got about like 20% the way through and died, and I was like, oh shit, I wasn't really. So then I like really focused on the Tetris block, fit the shit in your inventory. I really, really thought that was cool.
It's great.
And you go to each rooms and fight things, and then at the end of each kind of level, let's say you got 15 rooms and 10 of them are fights and 5 are other bits, you choose what abilities the final boss will have, and you go, well, if my character's kind of like this, I want the final boss to have wings instead of a giant cudgel or something, and then you'd fight that boss.
That's a cool.
So in that build I had main character was just the first guy you get, who's like your warrior, I suppose, and I had a mate who was a paladin, and he was just the brick shithouse that could do heals, and then my other mate's just smash. But then you can get a character as well that's like a lich or like a sorcerer or something, and that's all about like I got her to just like steal health and then do massive damage, but she had no health, so it was like don't get hit too much, but then steal all the health back. So I don't know, I really liked that game. Again, was pretty bummed I got to the end of it so quickly, but it's a demo. So that felt very Slay the Spire too, but more focused on what you've got in your inventory versus what you've got as your cards, I suppose.
Yeah, feels like the meat of the mechanics are kind of in that inventory management sort of mini game, which is
and it can be
a really
frustrating.
interesting take
but
on that.
it was real. I found it really cool. Just right, now I have to ditch that thing which I've used half the game because I've got something that's better, but now it doesn't fit. So now I'm throwing my giant cloak away. Oh shit, should I have done that? I'll put it on the other guy, but that doesn't suit him because he's like the tank guy that's not the whacking.
So you've got
guy.
multiple
Like,
Tetris inventory screens to be managing.
on each character, yeah, and then you have like a stash as well if you want to keep cool stuff. You're like, oh, that might work later on if I have another item that doesn't quite fit. Yeah, so
Yet another Tetris stash to
Yeah.
be managing.
so it was really cool.
really?
I mean, that sort of style of game, which is almost the vampire crawler, which was a bit kind of like deck buildy and crack cocaine to the veins, and then this, going through dungeons room by room, and your inventory is your management. They're all very similar kind of styles of games, which honestly, when I started playing them, I just literally wouldn't put them down until I realized I hadn't blinked for 2 hours, and my eyes were falling out of my head. I'm like, I need to eat, I need to pee. What happened to the sun that was up 2 hours ago? It's now 7 p.m. Holy shit, what just happened? So,
And then
That's me.
God forbid starting them at the end of the day. Starting to run or two at
yeah,
the end
because
of
like
the day.
the
and-
Lootbound run demo was probably like 2.5 hours from
Wow.
start. Yeah, let's say 2 hours from start to end. Maybe including like the maybe 20 minutes I went for one run and died, and was like, I suck at this.
Yeah.
And then finally put on my big boy pants. So those two games, and this has all come from recommendations from you guys. So I'm like, well, now I'll listen to your podcast even more. So if you're listening to this podcast and you like these sorts of games, give them a crack. But also don't listen to me because, I'm chronically obsessed with Clair Obscur, and some people don't like it. Like my flatmate hated the game, but I thought it was because he was a little bit pretentious towards the French.
I mean, he's definitely in the minority there by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
It's almost the
Oh,
universally
wow.
loved
He sounds
game
like
of the year.
he's not a good person. That's the vibe I get.
Yeah, I love it. He's a great dude. He is an out and out gamer. If you look at his build, that's all he does in life. He's a lovable fella. But I asked, like, why don't you like this game? Because he played the demo,
missing out,
and the demo
man.
was like, you go and it doesn't. I guess it doesn't really matter for Dave because it's just the demo. You go and have a couple of fights, and then you get really connected to the characters, and then
Yeah, right.
yeah,
What kind of games does he usually play?
everything.
Everything. Oh,
He plays
Oh,
RPGs.
I forgot another game of playing as well. He will play anything that he can get his hands on, I would say. So he likes like JRPGs. He would like
right, yeah. It's kind of wacky.
mass-
Even stranger that he doesn't.
Yeah,
like.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
like-
he never even got to the open world, and he was like, "Oh, that's an open world game. I love open world games." I'm like, "Why don't you play it then?" Oh, nah. But once he's set in his ways,
It's
that's
just-
his
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Maybe they need to. Oh, no.
I actually realised I just forgot completely about the game I've been playing the most in the last few weeks, which in the first hour, this doesn't bode well for it. But I mean, I like the game. I fell asleep in the first hour of this game. But it was...
You
it
would
was
never guess
soothing?
what it is.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, I guess there's a guess of what sort of game is quite soothing and calming
put you to
and would
sleep.
put you to sleep.
game. Okay,
That's
hang on.
out and it's quite popular. It's not new. Oh, it's
Oh,
relatively
you'd,
new.
massively
you'd assume
popular.
a cozy get, where you start your
Something
bellying or
like-
something.
yeah.
Something comfortable and easygoing,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Keep going.
Disney.
you just relax into the game, and there's combat, of course, but it's just like easy breezy.
Bloodborne.
It's not far from there, I suppose you'd say.
there it is.
Silksong.
Oh, that's
Which
right.
is an incredibly stressful game to me.
Silksong.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think I ever felt like I was at risk of falling asleep
Wow.
while I was playing Silksong.
The very, very start of the game has
Throwing my keyboard at the wall, maybe.
maybe I knocked myself out when it rebounded. I have
Dreaming.
slammed a controller down already with that game. But at the very, very start, it was very nice and mossy, and I don't know, the music was peaceful. I must have been tired after work. It wasn't fighting anything, at least. That all came a bit later, like fighting my inner urge to punch this hole in the laptop. But so I've been playing Silksong, and I played Hollow Knight. Really enjoyed Hollow Knight. That's a very kind of dark, morose, depressing game that you're out on your own against the world, and the world hates you, basically. With Silksong, I've only touched maybe an hour or two of it. In 1 hour, it was sleeping. So my Steam hours are a bit skewed. It feels like there's a lot more help around, so you're not just out on your own and the world sucks. It's like people are out there, people buying ants or whatever the heck they
Yeah,
are.
little ones, creatures.
Are all little creatures. They're like out there to give you a hand. Already, though, I'm reaching a skill a skill cap with me is there's a jumping part of the map that I've only just, it's like at the beginning, and there's little pumpkins you got to jump on and whack and jump on and whack. And you can't race through, you could kind of race through Hollow Knight a bit and just get through shit if you died and just jump. If you rush anything in Silksong, you will get killed. And things hit you hard. Like at the start of the game, you have like 5 or 6 health in Silksong. And you're running along, and if you try and rush stuff, that thing will just chase you across the map. Or chase you across that area until you get to the next room, I suppose. But rooms are
And
sometimes
one shot
big.
you if they do get you? What, 2?
Well, I mean, having 5 health. The things that at the very start of the game, I found a thing that would do 3 damage to you in 1 hit, and I'm like, I have 5 health, and like I've played Hollow Knight, so I've learnt the game. Mechanics are a bit different because it's a different game. It's really punishing, and then at the start, I've had to kind of like track through the same areas multiple times, do a jump thingy, which I am shit at jump things. If you don't hit the thing at the right time and the right angle, you go into the bloody sharp things, and then you go back to the start, and the little fucker's trying to kill you while you're doing it again. And then all of a sudden there's a flying thing. I'm like trying to jump, and I'm like, and all of that is just to get to a boss, where you get to the boss and go, I've got 1 health, and I don't know how this boss works, and he's killed me in 1 hit. Now I'm going to do all that shit again and hope I can get there with 2 health and dodge the first attack to then figure out what is his second attack and die to that as well.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first got to the second boss in the game, the Bell Beast. I don't know that's where you were up to.
there.
I banged my head against that thing. I don't know how many times before it started to click, and then it clicked eventually. But and once you, with what you mentioned about, I know a lot of people have struggled with like the diagonal downwards
exactly that.
attack when you're kind of trying to jump on things, and it's quite precise.
Exactly that.
As you play through the game and it opens up and you get access to more and more tools in your toolbox, part of that is the different crests that you get access to, which essentially change your entire moveset. And so you will probably end up finding a build that kind of suits your playstyle, and you do have to kind of get used to that initial thing first. But at a certain point, like say I unlocked a crest which just has I believe a very similar kind of moveset to the you get the original Hollow Knight moveset as one of them with the downwards pogo attack, and then there's another one I end up using which is basically just a kind of downwards broad slash, and that with that you can without the sort of downwards pogo, and with that you can essentially become a helicopter. You can basically just turn into this kind of aerial combat machine where like I'll go entire quite long combats without ever touching the ground because you're just kind of bouncing off enemies over and over again.
Sounds like a very suitable way for that game, because with I imagine, well, I don't even know what her name is. Hornet.
Yeah.
She is much more kind of flowy and floaty. And,
yeah, she can be quite aerial.
Quite more like elegant, as opposed to the Hollow Knight. The guy's just like smack. I mean, I really, really like the game. I just know I'm not very good at it, so I need to give myself more time with it, because I think I'm really competitive with myself. And when I get to a point in a game where I just can't beat it, and there are 3 other avenues I could go, I'm like, don't be a sack of shit. Go and beat that area. And then I'll go and do the jump,
wall.
and then rush through it, and then do something silly and go, this is the thing with Hollow Knight, and I think we'll touch upon it, is it's your own fault that you make these mistakes. You go, I've rushed this area.
It's brutal and it's punishing, but it's generally fair, and you generally come out of it going, damn it, I did that wrong.
Yeah, I cocked that up because I didn't time that properly. So it's by your own volition that you make mistakes that causes the frustration. But I think maybe the frustration for me is I should be able to do this, but I can't because I'm trying to rush it.
Yeah, and in many cases it's like, I know I can do this,
Yeah.
for sure. And I mean, I say this having bounced off the game after sort of somewhere in the region of 40 to 50 hours, and I shouldn't say bounced off. I'm taking a break from it because I got to a point where I was just beating my head against the wall with it. I really encountered some difficulty spikes where I was like, I am just not good enough to do this.
It's quite
and
confronting.
and like up until then, I had that same cycle over and over again where I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Oh, I got a little bit better on that time. Like I cracked it a little bit,
Right.
and then you just kind of keep doing that 30 times in a row, and eventually you just do it perfectly. You just reach this point where you've figured out the patterns, you've kind of memorized what's going on, you know what the bosses are going to do, because this is just a boss battler at the end of the day. This game really, it's an arena fighter, And you get to this point where you're just like, yes, I know what's going to happen, and your muscle memory just kind of kicks in, and you do it without taking damage. You know, it's
when
just
you came out the other side, and there's like this huge sense of success when you finally beat the
I
boss.
did it. Oh,
it's kind of like what I did with Clair Obscur. It's like, thank God I beat that piece of shit, because I was like, this was so hard. But this is the thing where I guess with the battles, I mean, I've come across a couple of the bosses so far, and they're really well done. Like the mechanics or how it looks. It's really pretty, and the music
and the tells and everything, like
really
the way they
involved.
wind up for attacks. So, you know, they give you all the information you need, but then you just have to be perfect.
Right. It's an interesting kind of like cross between my favorite game, Clair Obscur, and this. So there's a lot of boss battles, or a lot of fighting things and stuff. I mean, this is cut and dry most games.
Asking precision from you.
Is I really enjoy the repetitiveness of Clair Obscur. With the Hollow Knight, it frustrates me, and I'm like, it's this kind of the same sort of ish, not really mechanic. It's got a similar kind of feeling, but I get really sick of Silksong fights. But I love just the constant battles in Clair Obscur. I don't know what that is.
Is it a problem off the boss run back?
Probably just getting there is really annoying. And then finally, like, right, I'm here. I'm not prepared.
Yes.
I'm pissed off. I've got one health.
Already
and
mad.
I can't get anything wrong because it took so long to get here.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, also, I wonder if some of it is that difference between the approach to the combat, right? You know, Clair Obscur, you're dealing with a turn-based combat system, and there's a lot more kind of room for different approaches, or again trying to hit that combo just right, or doing something slightly different. You know, you're playing more of a chess game, whereas in Hollow Knight it's more just like, I need to nail every one of these moves in real time. It's
Don't
fast.
get this wrong.
It's gonna kill me.
Once you get one thing wrong, you get 5 things
yeah,
wrong.
yeah. It's like,
screwed.
and again,
It's
it'll collapse on itself, right? It's like, you suddenly you're either just like building on sort of one perfect move to the next, or it all goes south real bad, and then you're desperately scrambling to recover, or you just don't.
And that's I think the main thing. Yeah,
If they got rid of the boss run back and it was just, you could just go into the boss over and over and over and over.
That's Clair Obscur. It's just like, oh, you've cocked this up. Would you like to fight again? I'm like, yes, you son of a bitch.
It's been solved in other games.
I never liked the boss run back. Like that was like an early Dark Souls sort of thing.
Yeah, the early Dark Souls had all that
Well,
crap
see,
to get on.
and this is why I think they've done it, and why they've been pretty insistent on keeping it, because they had quite a lot of frustrated feedback early on with people going, I don't want to do this. Like, this is painful. Why are you making me do this? And I think really it's a matter of stakes, right? It's almost your extraction shooter situation where the tension of fighting that boss is ratcheted up to 11, because you know that you've just gone through this process of like this 5 minutes of run back to get there, and you're like, don't die, don't die, don't die.
Yeah. It holds so much
Whereas
weight.
when you are just like going at it one time straight after the other, you know, like with no run back, it does lose that tension a little bit. And there are fights in the game where there is almost no run back, and you can just go straight back into it again. But those ones with the slightly longer run back on them are so tense, because I don't want to do that again. Like, I can't do that again. Please don't make me do it again.
And it's
and
like,
then you die, and you're like, oh well, I guess.
and the
I'll do it
question is
again.
like, is that like, how many people find that extra tension enjoyable?
Oh, it's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
The frustration factor.
But it's an interesting mechanic, and I think it does work in terms of, it's exciting for sure, because you're invested, and you're like, man, I need to get this right, because I really don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the big thing with, if you could fight the boss and then you die and fight back again, I guess where I touch on, I mean, they're obviously different games. Clair Obscur, you get 90% through a fight, and then you learn a whole bunch of new moves that the boss throws at you, and you're like, what the hell? And then you fight him again. Whereas in Silksong, Hollow Knight, but in Silksong, you get all that run back, run all the way to the boss, and then you start fighting him when you're ill prepared and you're stressed out from like rushing through and getting there, or doing it slowly and taking heaps of time. The boss is all still freaking hard anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the frustrating bit comes in when you're not learning something new. Like when you're doing those run backs and you get a little bit further and you get incrementally better and you learn something new about what's going on, you pick up the next part of the move set or whatever, and you're like, okay, I did do better. I still got messed up, but okay, I now kind of know what's coming at me next. Whereas, when you get back again and then you just get killed in the first 10 seconds because you make one mistake and you're like, okay,
jumps.
well, I just went through that run back and learned nothing. That's frustrating.
Yeah. I got through, I think in the most recent time I played it 3 times in a row, I was running towards the boss, and 3 times in a row I just fell into the pit of crap, and then the thing's whacking me while I'm coming back to life. And then I jump, fall back into the spikes. I'm like, slam, controller. Yeah, that's me.
No, that's me for tonight.
Sign it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty game. It's a good game. I just need to temper with how actually good I am at it, because it's definitely a learning experience.
It's one of those games that really doesn't care. How far you get in it is just entirely your problem, and it's like, well,
I'll be waiting.
Up to you whether you're capable of enjoying this thing or not. And it's like, but I want to experience more of it, but you won't let me.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much more of the map I know that's there, but I'm not allowed to go there yet.
Please let me play the game. I'll get better. I promise.
Well, it's with any game, like, you learn, right? You learn processes, you learn new ways that things are trying to kill you.
Learn new things about yourself.
It's just you have to learn the same thing so many times. I already learned that. I don't want
it's teaching you new levels of patience.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very traditional video game mechanic in a way, right? Whereas, like, your early video games are very much, one of the only forms of media that involve a skill check. It's like, you can only enjoy this media if you can push through it. It's like,
Lion King on Mega Drive.
The satisfaction of finally getting through all that crap and finally beating the thing after all the trials and tribulations you've been through. Like, there is that success, but going through all that crap just sucks. But when you finally get to that end where you get the reward, you're like, oh, thank God. Except for, like, in the other game, I still remember finally beating one of the bosses and getting the reward, and the reward was absolute dog shit. And Clair Obscur.
Oh,
You
yeah.
finally beat. I don't know. Can I talk about if Dave hasn't? I mean, I don't know if Dave will play or
spoilers,
not.
spoilers, I guess, for the audience. I'm fine learning about some.
Well, I won't go to what the reward is, but when you finally beat the Lamp Master, and I'm like, thank God I beat that piece of shit. It was so hard. I'm like, the reward is demoralizing. And I'm like, oh, days. How could you do this to me, you son of a bitch? I was like, because it took me a long time. It was so hard to understand how that thing attacks. And then I finally beat it, and I'm like, here's the game just gives me 2 middle fingers.
I can't remember that one.
It's towards the start.
It's not a reward.
Okay.
Blotted it out.
It's not a reward. It's the worst result after a fight of the
there's a
entire
few.
game.
Yeah, the game does that a little bit.
Yeah, that's about me. So still trudging along Clair Obscur. I do love that game, even though I've already played the whole story. I'm playing it again, and I've learned a lot of kind of lore through like YouTube and other dudes
cool.
talking about it,
Yeah.
learning about like all the other expeditions and learning about other family members and stuff like that.
There's quite a bit there.
Yeah,
Well, it all the banging hitting us all really reminds me of Elden Ring and the kind of like the arc of starting that game. Like Nathan dragged me into it. He's like, just play it. Oh, okay, right. And I kind of dabbled around the edges with those sorts of games, and I was like, no, I can't.
it's too hard.
It's just so hard. I'm not good enough. I just can't fucking do this
That
shit.
was like Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, man.
And there's that guy, I think we talked about it yesterday, Gravekeeper Netto, where it's just so long to get to the bastard, and then he shoots shit out the ground that's like, I thought nigh impossible to dodge.
But Elden Ring does it so well with the option of being able to move around this big map and there's no boss runs really for Elden Ring. You can kind of just
There's
of
no
the bosses
runbacks.
you
They
just-
remove them.
Everything's trying to attack.
which is so good. Like it's such a streamlined experience. Like one of the bosses, Radahn, I spent 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I thought it was 2 weeks trying to beat him.
Okay.
So every night, come back, a couple of hours. I'm done for the night. We're gonna park this. It was 2 weeks of beating him, and then apparently after I beat him, they nerfed him to make him easy.
They're waiting for you to finally beat him.
yeah, I beat him in there.
But that's the battles we were having, eh?
Yeah, because we were, like,
days
sort of
long,
on the-
weeks long.
Yeah, we were on the kind of
through
like cusp
bosses.
of it. We were like just first day release, so we were playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Melania
Melania.
pre-patch.
When she's healing herself
just
and
heals
stuff.
herself.
Yeah, she's
If
on my-
she-
she's
even
on
if
my
she
wall.
misses you, like she heals herself. If she hits you, but because the game was a bit buggy, you would dodge it and she'd still heal.
Yeah.
So it was like this, and she was known at the time to be the hardest boss FromSoft had ever designed. And she had
And it
this
was already
hacky,
glitched.
this glitched heal.
It's just like real hard.
It was
Me and
so
Nate managed to
hard.
beat her.
Yeah.
And this is when I was
together,
not very
yeah,
good
right.
at these games. I'm better now.
Okay.
And then there was the expansion as well, which was even harder But just going from like
console,
just
yeah.
Elden Ring or like Dark Souls Scrub to being able to finish the last boss of the expansion.
It's a real journey.
It was a fucking journey over a couple of years. It was a couple of years because the expansion didn't come out until the year later. So it was like 2 years of just...
I couldn't beat Dark Souls 2. I gave up.
man.
I was like, this is too hard.
These are hard games.
Ridiculous.
There's actually a really interesting, so just sort of this general topic we're talking about, like the journey you go through individually through these very difficult games and all-consuming games like Clair, Obscur, and Elden Ring, and Slay the Spire. In this journey you sort of go through from being absolute rookie to, you know, mastering the game. And so I listened to a YouTuber called Jacob Geller, who I recommend to everybody who does sort of like deep dives.
Like long form essays.
Long form essays, often quite philosophical. And he released one kind of recently about a guy who went through these motions back in the 80s playing Atari Breakout. And how like that became all consuming for him. He was floored by the game initially and then, you know, wanted to master it. And this is like pre-internet, and the journey so it was like this professor of a university who had no experience with video games, discovers Atari Breakout, and which is, I think that's the one where you have a little paddle and it bounces the ball up to break the bricks.
Okay.
But he ends up writing this novel about the journey of mastering a video game, and what he's learned about himself along the way, and it's like way out the gate, like some of the like philosophical arguments that he's making that this game is teaching him. It's amazing. It's like mind expanding.
Wow.
and then all at the end of it, he's like, he kind of comes to the realization that, you know, he's been obsessed for years over this game, and it's like taken over his life. And at the game, he's like, he comes to the realization that it was just a game all along.
Full circle.
This is full circle. The last bit, and then I'll pass it over to you, Nate. Going back to Clair, Obscur, of course, is when you'd mentioned Elden Ring and you said 2 weeks for a boss, and I managed to beat the hardest boss in Clair, Obscur. I mean, some people might think there's another one that's harder, but I think this dude's the hardest. It took me 5 hours non-stop, and when I finally beat him, I was like, oh my God. But like the entire fight was so much fun. And when I'd die and be like, oh shit. I'm like, no, I've got this, dude. I can do this. But like there was never any point I was frustrated. It was just like, this is such an awesome fight.
Clair Obscur's like that, eh?
Just non-stop. And then because there's those 4 super bosses, and they're all pretty hard, but the last one is fucking hard. It's so much fun though. Like if I balance that with the frustration of like I'm still learning it, but Silksong and then a Clair Obscur, it's just the fights that just you constantly lost and lost and lost and lost and lost, and then you finally won. I just enjoyed the losses as well.
I'll put this out there, like the difference between the sort of boss run to get to the run to get to the boss versus the just repeating the boss. Like when you're just doing the boss for 5 hours, or in my case 3 hours a night for 2 weeks, you can kind of get into flow state. Whereas I think when you're doing the run, it's just like arbitrary kind of
disjointed.
I'm just doing some platforming and trying to avoid stuff, and it's not really that engaging compared to the intensity of the boss. Although it does add to the boss, I think like that's why it
crescendo
feels less frustrating. But some people might just enjoy the overall tension.
Some of the Elden Ring bosses, I literally had to stand up and like I was so like in the zone. I was be like standing in front of the TV. And I'd be like,
nose to the
kids
TV.
try to talk to me. I'm like, don't talk to me.
Oh mate,
no, they were really good actually. They would be.
They understand how important this was to you.
Yeah.
I remember you just
And
like,
then you'd have this. Did you ever have a moment in Clair Obscur like where you would just go to bed, you know, defeated, and then be like, tomorrow I'll try again?
probably for most like critical bosses, yes.
Yeah. It's a tough thing to swallow, you know, when you like at that moment
Accepting
you're like,
it.
I can't do it tonight.
I guess it adds.
you can't do
It
it,
adds to like the morose. Is that a word? Sure. Or like the defeatism of like the whole game. Whereas like you're trying to achieve something that the whole world just is like piss off.
Yeah, like thematic as well to the actual like narrative of the game.
Because you
Like,
want
your
the
experience with
characters to succeed.
Right.
So you're
Yeah.
like, I will succeed.
There's some bosses there where you're like, how can this be done?
Yes.
When you just proverbially bash your head against them and you figure it out.
it. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Shall I? Speaking of characters you want to succeed,
Oh no.
Lynn. So if it's all right, I'll transition to what I've been playing. What we've been playing actually, because after, so I've got a little story to tell. After recording off the last session 2 weeks ago, last podcast episode 2 weeks ago, Len and I sat down and we were looking through a catalogue of games. We had an afternoon to spend, and like, what do we play? And we got looking at some, what would you call them? Like kind of immersive narrative couch co-op games. There's a couple of games out there. It's called the Dark Pictures Anthology, which are sort of like they're like an interactive TV show where you control the characters' decisions and you kind of decide what route they're going to take through the story. There was a Netflix kind of movie.
Sounds like the Walking Dead interactive style.
Oh yeah,
Kinda like that,
a little bit, yeah. So the one we ended up landing on was kind of crazy how we just landed on it, because we looked at some of the Dark Pictures. We're like, oh no, we got to pay for them, and then we discovered one called As Dusk Falls, and that was you had it free
part of the
as part
catalog,
of your catalog, and so you got that on the download. And at the beginning we thought, oh yeah, this there's got to be vampires in this, given the name, because it's the vampire film.
Sorry, what was the name?
As Dusk Falls. Which there's a vampire movie called Dust to Dawn.
Is it? Okay.
So
I was just thinking of like quite apocalyptic world. I'm like, where's the vampire?
Oh yeah. So what it is it's a story that there's a cast of characters, and the story plays out over a couple of acts.
Yeah.
And there'll be like decision points during the story where it asks the players, you and me and Len, at the time, to vote on a decision, and then that's going to take a character in a certain, it's going to develop the character in a certain
direction, right?
Direction, yeah. And so like you could take a character in a more aggressive direction, a more confrontational, or be a bit more more passive.
You're voting on this.
Yes, you have to vote.
Yeah, here we go.
And you can.
So
So just the two of us, and you have like power plays where you can override the other person's vote.
Here we go.
And the other mechanics is, as you're playing, you'll be like sitting back and like letting the scene play out, and then it will flash a quick time event on the screen, and you have to like mash some buttons or like rotate your analog sticks to like complete the quick time event or QTE. And yeah, I think just in general, like Len, you have a bit more of a you sort of play these kinds of games. Well, I
want to role play them, so I'm I
yeah.
take the character. I'm like, I want this person to be this person, so I'll kind of like gravitate towards a certain vibe with someone.
More often than not, like turning them into absolute menaces.
Sometimes just a dick. There's
Wherever
one.
possible.
Sorry, spoiler alert for the first one of the first like controversial decisions with the
which
with
one
Jay.
would
Was
that have
Jay?
been?
Is his name Jay?
Tyler.
Tyler. No, Jay with the bottle.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So he goes in the fridge. They're robbing a house, and they're deciding whether to like piss into the drink bottle. Like
The house is owned by the sheriff.
By the sheriff,
in this little sleepy town.
Yeah.
In Arizona. I think.
It's like, do it. And I was like, yeah, no, definitely he's going to piss in the bottle. Like,
you can't.
It's like, what are you doing?
that.
I'm like, no, we're doing it. It's terrible. We're doing it. And then it's like a sort of 50-50 if you both choose the different ones.
Oh,
and it landed on mine.
Yeah. And so the decisions earlier on the game, they don't really have too much weight behind them. And you're like, it's just a bit silly. And, like we're bantering like about what to do. Yeah. And then like over the course of the game, they get more and more intense. And towards the end of the game, a decision, there'll be like these crossroad events, which are like major decisions. And we're just like, one of them will come up and we just like hit pause, and then we're like, so
What do you think? What's Jay's thoughts on this?
yeah.
Like, what is our Jay?
where's
What's our
Jay
Jay
at in his
What's
development arc?
Yeah, his story.
Yeah, and it would be like a 15-minute discussion about
man.
what we should do, and then.
But you wouldn't agree on the end of it if it was 15 minutes long. About half the time, Len's just like, we're going to be a menace. And you're like,
Well,
think of the children.
Certain events happen earlier in the game, which Len takes full responsibility
Nice.
for. So there's this one character, Vince, our boy Vince.
Our boy Vince.
He was our boy.
Yeah.
Was?
He was like the people's champion, right? Like he's like the family man.
He's family
like,
man, yeah.
Like overweight, failing relationship.
Lost
sort of
his
like-
job sort of thing.
Yeah,
like
bit,
relocating to a
bit
new job.
nerdy. Yeah, white and nerdy.
Yeah, kind of like a bit passive and
Yeah. But and they end up in like a terrible situation. They sort of cross paths with this group of
family.
bandits, which are also a family,
Yeah.
but they've been put into their own dire circumstances, and they're kind of the bad guys in the first act, and they cross paths with Vince and his family, and yeah, so Len, you're trying to take Vince in like a real.
I'm just making man's man. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, he's gonna be gusto. He's gonna do some stuff that, like, I got some people killed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
But
do you want him to be pathetic and weak and useless?
Well,
Well, a
some
little
of
more
the
passive.
decisions are like,
I was like,
are quite like,
I was just aggressive with Vince, to be honest. I was like making him punch people in the face and
Yeah.
stuff. And,
like brave. Like there's
Yeah,
a lot
brave,
of
yeah,
guns getting pointed at people
Yeah.
at points, and Len's, and I'm like, no, we just play it cool. And Len's like, nah, man, I gotta fight this guy. He's got like a shotgun in Vince's face. I'm like, what are you doing?
Take him
man?
down.
We want Vince to live.
we want Vince to live.
Vince is our boy. And he ends up turning into like a regular Jack Reacher eventually.
okay.
There's like pot bellied, like, bearded, like
Like classic, like sort of
Vince
fat
says
sitcom.
nothing.
yeah.
It sort of double crosses the cops and the family.
Yeah,
and
we're
sort
trying
of
to
just-
play everyone.
We're just
at
trying
this
to play
point.
everyone.
Yeah.
Just get way too clever.
Yeah. Turns out Vince is like a regular superhero. Like he's like running across rooftops at one point, like jumping. Like he pulls himself up onto the roof at one point.
Just a
We're like,
parkour.
Vince, where did you get
do
this
this?
strip? But anyway, we love Vince. Like he is the guy.
Yeah, he's our
And
guy.
He's how we're gonna like see this game through. And so, early game, you've got these quick time events, and like, I've failed a few.
Deliberately?
Yeah, I failed a few because
Because
I've
you
been a
can't-
bit lax.
yeah.
The story's like not.
Super high stacks. Oh,
Yeah, it's getting there, but like, we haven't learnt the repercussions of certain
Okay.
or failing. these
failure
things.
yet.
Yeah.
So like, it's pretty casual, and you've been hitting your quick time events like.
Generally, I'm pretty proud.
you're
Generally,
on
these are
fire.
easy.
Yeah.
Because I
I don't think you had missed a single quick time event.
Had I not? I don't
No,
know. I had.
I don't think you had.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
And Len's been pushing Vince, seeing how far he can push him.
Uh,
I'm like, mate, you got to cool off a little. Like,
No, we're not calling off. We're not calling off.
and then,
full send.
Yeah.
yeah, and then I don't know what it was, but this one quick time event comes up towards the end of the first act, and Len, you just
I just missed it 'cause
Watch
I didn't
it.
think it was mine. I think we
you
both
both
we both had
have
to
to
do it.
succeed. You both
You
have
both
to
do it.
succeed.
And I was like, oh, that one's Nathan's. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
and I'm like, boom, boom.
And then Nate's like,
done.
what? I hit it. And I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we failed. And I didn't realize it was just because I hadn't done it.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one I'd missed the entire
The
game.
first quick time event you missed, and it results in Vince getting murdered.
Murdered.
Oh, lovely.
Essentially,
For
yeah.
why I missed one swipe.
Straight up
And
killed.
he gets like, and he gets tased.
And we're like, "There's no way he's dead.
Yeah, no,
he can't be
He's a
dead."
boy.
Yeah,
He's a man.
You see him like get wheeled out in like a body bag.
scene. We're like in
That's a
denial
spoilers team,
until that scene. We're just in denial. We're like, he's not dead. He's coming back. And then it's like he's getting wheeled on
Oh,
it.
man. He's still coming back.
We're like, oh,
He's a vampire now.
Vince.
It just really just not tarnished. It was pretty funny. It was
Yeah.
sad.
Just that
Unbelievable.
One thing.
thing.
Yeah, that one moment of weakness.
And I'll say like
leads
it's
to it.
it was a surprisingly good game. It's
so good.
It's not animated. It kind of does like kind of stills, like moving stills as it goes through, like a storybook almost, with the full voice acting and stuff.
Great,
So,
great.
really good voice acting.
and really well written characters. Like every character's.
Everyone had their thing.
Yep.
Yeah, there's
They
a
had
big story.
their issues going on, and and you felt like you could really develop. You had agency to develop.
What
these
was
characters.
Vince's thing if he's like a big dude with a pot belly and he's running across rooftops?
He wants to save his
thing was
family.
everything. Oh,
his family, yeah.
his family,
Okay.
because he's got a child in this situation, and
a
there's bullets.
so think
flying.
of the children was the right line to say.
Yeah,
Where you're like, send it.
Yeah, it was. It was
Yeah.
like he's a family man. Yeah.
Meanwhile, his little girl's like watching things fold out, and,
Yeah.
and Vince just being a menace. And so such a good game, and like I'd say I've played a couple of the Dark Pictures, played Man of Medan and Until Dawn, and I think that's just those two.
Are those
And
different characters within each one of those games?
there's similar games made by different people,
Oh.
made by a different outfit. But this game stands, I reckon, heads and shoulders above those games in terms of that style of game, like a interactive.
This was an actual narrative, like narrative and characters. It's probably one of the best ones I've played. Better than like Until Dawn, even.
Yeah. You become so invested in the characters at the end, and you just want them to come out on top. But it's not that easy.
I think Detroit Become Human is quite up there as well.
yeah.
That's another one that would be in that vein.
Yeah, nice. So I'd highly recommend, and play it. I'd say two works quite well.
yeah.
I reckon having
a
a
group?
third tiebreaker person,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
a
that sounds
fifth
ideal.
if you're playing it a bigger,
third
because you can go
player
up to like 8 players or something.
Oh wow, right.
Yeah.
Is
It'd be
it like
chaos.
is it one of those games where you can kind of do it on your
Phone?
phone?
Yes,
Right.
yes, you can do it on your phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one copy of the game, set everyone up with your phones.
That's quite
or
cool.
Controllers and controllers. Yeah.
Jackbox party, but
Yeah, I like that
man,
idea.
Yeah, settle in for an interactive TV show.
It's good along like six,
Okay.
7 hours to get through the whole thing.
Yep.
it's
And
actually pretty
and
lengthy.
and at the end of it, you've got this story that's just unique
That's
to your playthrough.
that's your story, right?
if you can get through the story.
If you can.
Get
There's-
past Act 1.
Oh yeah, and at the end of each scene, it will show you a map of routes that
Oh.
could have been the route that you took and the routes that could have been, but it doesn't show the details of those routes. And so you're like, you see these branching paths, and you're like, holy cow, there's a whole part of the game that we didn't
So it's
see.
replayable to the nth degree.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah.
And it shows the percentage of what other people did.
Yeah.
And so we saw like Vince dead 6%. We're like,
We're in the sixth.
we're like, oh no, what have we done?
Usually in these games, it's like 50-50 split, 50-40.
Yeah.
And we're like,
6%.
rubbish.
Just
Just
killed
so bad.
Which means like it affected other things.
You have
down
to
the
go
road.
out of your way to get that
Yeah, you do, yeah,
result.
Right.
Like,
You have to pee in the bottle.
Yeah, you can be in the
You
bottle.
got to take that man's shotgun to the face.
oh yeah. But anyway, yeah, that was just so funny. And then my PlayStation profile pitch has been a picture of Vince ever since.
In memoriam.
Where'd you
Yeah.
find
R.I.P.
that?
Vince.
How'd you find the Vince? 'Cause I really want to
I
change my
screen capped.
Oh,
it
you screen
from the
cap?
video.
Oh, can you screen cap so your avatar now?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Just so we never forget Vince.
No.
Never
I might do
forget.
Jay or something, maybe. Or the girl that I tried to get her with, but couldn't.
Oh yeah, didn't quite.
Anyway. Anything else they know? Anything to play?
Nah, that's my story.
All right. Fantasy Critic Notes?
Nothing much happening there, I don't think. I had Screamer come out, which did all right. People generally seem to think that was kind of okay. Nothing too much going on, I don't think.
Yeah, so the
Got a
points...
couple still waiting on scores for like Pokemon Champions, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like a little bit of mixed reception to Champions so far. Or a little bit of sounds like it feels a little bit unfinished, and seems like there's already some egregious monetization stuff being built in right from the ground up. Which sounds a bit rough. So see how that goes. But,
I'm eagerly awaiting the Control Resonant release date announcement,
oh yes,
because that's probably my best shot at getting points on the board.
anticipated too, just in terms
Most,
of
yeah,
wanting
both
player,
most
right?
anticipated and potential points. And Remedy have been releasing snippet after snippet of it's some really cool stuff, and I keep watching them, hoping that there will be a release date, and it's always like releasing 2026. I'm like, come on, just tell me. I need to know. Like,
32nd
away,
of
right?
December.
yeah.
Okay.
I am at the point now. I reckon they might just drop it, without a release
Like
date.
Shadow Drop.
Yeah, and just be like,
Nice.
it's live now. Maybe like Game Awards or some
It's
big.
living late.
I wouldn't put it past
I
them.
reckon October.
We all know how good the Game Awards goes for things. The Keeley curse.
Could be Could be true. It could be his other one, the Summer Game Fest.
Was that High Garden? Was that the one?
Yes.
you're
My
talking
God, yeah.
about?
High Garden.
It's in the garden now.
cozy
Buried.
garden.
Up in heaven.
Garden.
When's Summerfest?
Like June-ish. Yeah.
Okay, soon. Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Could be.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
All right.
Should we wrap it up?
We probably should.
It's been a minute. And that wraps us up for this week's episode of the Crossplay Cooperative. You can join us right here every fortnight for video game chat. In the meantime, like, sub, share, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. Give us a review, all the usual stuff. It makes a massive difference. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The Crossplay Cooperative was hosted by me, Nato, and Davo, with special guest Gareth. Music and editing was done by myself. The Crossplay Cooperative is a podcast by From Silence Productions. Sadly, Vince was the sole casualty of this episode.